Dennis, mate, to my peril and to my, I've suffered repeatedly, but I've fallen in love instantaneously and too easily. I've fallen in love first and evaluate the situation later. And you know what? It has screwed me up so many times, screwed up relationships, even marriages, man. But you know what? I still stand by the concept that you have to fall in love blindly, instantaneously. I still cannot understand how people can slowly and in a calculated, the fighting mantis way, just crawl into somebody else and say, oh, I love you. No. You can't fall in love with someone 2 years after you've known them. Either you love them instantaneously or not. That's my take, man.
Yeah, and I absolutely 100% disagree. And actually, because it's not just that, I do believe, so let me just back up. I think love at first sight is nothing more than infatuation. I'm just going to come out and say that my take on this, and it's not just for this show, you can even ask April, I don't believe in falling in love. I don't even believe in falling in love. So with that, I actually do think that, and there's a number of studies that have been conducted and stuff that I happen to believe. Of course, I picked the studies that are already aligned with the way I want to believe and think of the world anyway, right? So I just think that there's too many studies that are saying that the best relationships, the most successful relationships, not necessarily the most passionate relationships, are the ones that started out as friends. So I can just say, and I've seen that over and over and over, whereas two people will start as friends with not really any physical attraction or falling in love, and then they get to know each other, and what they actually do is they fall in love with the person as opposed to, what they think it is. Because like you said, when you take and you fall in love, and then you go down a certain path, and then you find out sometimes who they really are. And sometimes when we fall in love with people, we end up finding out they're not really necessarily lovable people.
Yeah, but you're saying love is a second-hand emotion. I mean, but I'm saying love is, touche. What I say is, as your song, nothing else matters. It's only love.
That's right.
Nothing else matters. Love. And I feel that if you go into a situation and start calculating immediately and then say, let me see if I can fall in love with you over time, I think that's absolute hogwash. Absolute hogwash. You can fall in love and reevaluate and back out. You can fall in love and say, you can start with falling in love and then fall out of love. That's okay, but you can't take out your freaking calculator and say, if I want to fall in love with you, man. You can't say, I'm going to evaluate. But that's not love. That's an arrangement. But I absolve you of that because you started by saying love is a useless second-hand emotion. So you're not even putting love into the same level of importance as I am. I think love is life. Love is all around.
I think love is life. I think that and I understand. I think what we're kind of talking about here is you come from a part of the world where some sort of arrangement in a marriage or in a relationship and so forth is very common. And over here, we're mainly basing it on love. And I'll just tell you, I've seen people that fall in love. I've seen it work. I've seen people that are arranged work. I've seen them fail. The difference is that when you fall in and out of love, it makes it okay to move on to the next. Listen, I don't have a problem with it. So a good friend of mine, but one of my, a guy that really mentored me through the fire department and through my time as in public safety. And one time he said to me, he's like, oh my gosh, Dennis, I can't believe it. I've been married for 35 years today. 35 years of my life I've spent married. I'm like, yeah, but dude, you've been married, you're spent across 6 different wives. What are you talking about? We're talking really about serial monogamy at that point. So, I just don't, is it a secondhand emotion? No, I think love is extremely important. Love is important. Falling in love at first sight, to me, that is, Okay, I'm just going to come out and say it. I think at one point I did believe in love at first sight and true love, and I kind of chased that kind of stuff. And then I actually learned science. I learned science and I learned neurobiology and neurochemistry. And guess what? All feelings are just chemicals. Chemicals change throughout the day. Feelings change throughout the day. Therefore, my it just makes my life a whole lot easier to live it in that, feelings are nothing more than chemicals that are bullshit. And that's it. So I love my wife, absolutely. I have massive amounts of love. I love showing love and expressing love. I just don't think it's something that you fall in and out of.
I'm not even talking
That's too
culturally.
easy.
I'm talking. I'm saying. I'm speaking completely personally. I'm going beyond culture, not arranged, unarranged. I've been in all kinds of relationships, arranged and non-arranged. And like I said, to my peril, I've paid the price for it. But yet, I feel that I'm a serial monogamist. I'm an absolute serial monogamist.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship when I was 15 years old. I'm 56 today. I have never been alone since I was 15. So I mean, and even though I have paid the price, a very high price of falling in love too easily, falling in love with a stranger, but I still endorse it. Just because I've had bad luck does not mean it's a bad thing. I mean, people say, why do you come out of a bad marriage, but you're quick to get married again? I said, yeah, marriage is a beautiful institution. Just because I've had bad luck does not make this a bad institution. I made a bad choice. Or I had bad luck. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It's a fantastic thing. It's what keeps the whole life and family intact. But I still promote. I still people watching, young people all over the world. Fall in love instantaneously, man. And okay. Let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Don't get trapped into a relationship instantaneously. I have made that mistake of marrying too quickly, committing too quickly. Okay, I think I found the dividing line.
Sure.
I found the dividing line. Do not commit too quickly. Do not get into a committed relationship too quickly. I mean, speaking your language, don't move in together very quickly. Don't start sharing keys with each other too quickly, but fall in love instantaneously.
I don't think we're aligned on this one, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, we're not falling in love or dating one another.
No,
right?
It's not okay. You have to agree with me. It is not okay. You have to agree with me. Come on. How can you not agree with me, man?
I am going to stand by that.
How can you not agree with genius?
Oh, I agree that you're a genius. I just think that again. Yeah, listen, I really love, I am a romantic at heart. I love those kind of stories. I love like the whole story about like, we looked across the room and our eyes met and it was love at first sight and everything else. And I don't believe that because, I can't, the more that you know somebody, the greater and the deeper the love. I think falling in love, that concept, I think it's a great place to start. I think it's exciting as far as like a human emotion. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. It's something to chase, all of that. And I don't know, FQ, it maybe this is part of it, is just that it's the thrill of the chase, right? I don't know. I like to have those feel goods. I like to like look across the room and go, oh, I wonder. I don't know. I look at feelings are nothing more than chemicals, and those change throughout the day. I mean, so it changes depending upon our perspective and so forth. So I don't know. I'm just not a fall in love kind of a person. I don't know.
Here's the thing. When you said serial monogamy, yes, I agree with monogamy, but I do not agree with monoamory. I mean, polyamorous. So you can still look. You could be in love completely with somebody, but that doesn't mean you can't love somebody else.
Hey, you know what? A very good friend of mine, is female, and but it's a different kind of love. It's a totally different kind of love. My friend Jen, and Jen, if you happen to be watching, one, get back to work because I know you got meetings. Two is that I'm not saying anything that my wife doesn't know and that Jennifer doesn't know. Is that like I love her. I love her to death. I feel very connected with her. It's just that deep of a friendship and a connection that two people have. And I don't think, but that doesn't mean that we're going to like have sex with one another. Like that's just not even, I don't know. That's not even something that we discuss or talk about. So I think it just really depends on the person. I don't think it matters how people get together. I think what's important in a relationship is that if you are going to commit to a relationship, understand that falling in love, that whole feeling fades as soon as you kind of get to know the person. And then you have to move to that deeper level of love, really.
Okay, fine. Fine. Yesterday we talked about types of love, or day before yesterday, I think. So let's plug that in now. Day before yesterday we talked about it. So you can fall in love, and as you get to know somebody more, you can fall in love more or less. But you have to go in falling in love. You can't go in with your guards and with protective gear and your personal protection equipment and face shields and masks. No, you can't do it, man. And that's where I think the West is completely screwed. You guys are completely screwed up, man. The West is screwed up. You guys,
for sure.
You guys calculate this shit, man. You would go out on a date and you're calculating this. You go out and you freaking fall in love, man. A little. And the second date, some more. And the third date, some more. And the fourth date, maybe. No.
Right, because what happens in the West? What happens after the third date? Today's the third date. Guess what's supposed to happen? Sex.
Right,
I'm not joking. Like that's the rule here.
I know. So where's the problem?
Well, so you said after the fourth time it starts to die off because they had sex on the third time and they realized. I
didn't plug the fourth in because of that. I was just doing numbers. But yes, but you know what? Even that makes sense. Maybe that part of the relationship was, that's completely possible.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is we got some really good questions coming in today. So I want to make sure that we get to the questions. Again, I'm just going to come out and say this is that, and I'm going to stick with Aisha right here. I'm just going to go ahead and take this. Aisha, thank you so much. It is just serotonin and dopamine. Thank you. Listen. Here's the reason I have taken this perspective, and I was one. It caused a lot of April and I used to have these conversations. Kind of I don't know, probably about the 10-year mark in our relationship. Is like, oh, where's the passion gone? Well, the truth is we never really had any passion. We never had that spark. We loved each other. We were attracted to one another. Physically compatible, all of that, but it was a different situation. We have had to take and develop that. We had to take and develop that, and the truth is, for me, it comes down to this, and the reason I started adopting this mentality and mindset is because for too many years of my life, I was a slave to my emotions. Truth. I was a slave to my emotions. And so in order to take and back out of that and to let, have a different perspective, I had to kind of take some of the emotions out of everything. And there's a comment in here about am I even human? No, I'm a bot. Of course I'm human. I just choose to look at this differently because sometimes these emotions end up not serving me. And that's what it comes down to is it just doesn't serve me. And I say this often.
You just a heartless, white, trashy man. I mean, come on. What's wrong with you, Dennis?
White trash?
Yeah, well, I had to piss you off. I mean, come on. Come on, bro. Come on. You gotta fall in love.
I worked hard to move out of the trailer park, you effing jerk. So...
You know what?
I don't know if you have those over there. Over here in the U.S., for anybody watching, we have trailer parks. And
I know what that is.
Trailer parks are typically, where you go to, hang out with hookers and buy meth. So that's what usually happens in trailer parks.
Now you're just stereotyping, man. Honest, good people also live.
No, in fact, I'll drive right up the street from my house where there's a trailer park. And I'll take some photos and show you, and then you let me know how stereotypical I am.
You find what you seek. You find a calculated. You seek a calculated relationship. That's why, and good for you. You found a woman who's equally calculating like you. Hey, sorry, April. No offense, man, but your husband started this conversation. You guys, I seek highly passionate sparks. Starlight and candles and the magic can die. It's perfectly all right. I'm not hung up on that. It's all right. If it dies, it dies. But while it's there, you got to enjoy the magic. You got to enjoy the fireworks, man. You got to enjoy the the sunset. You got to enjoy.
I understand all of that.
You can't be calculated.
I enjoy them with April,
infidel.
and that's.
You capitalistic infidel.
Agreed, and that's better than a white trash label, so I'm okay with that. Listen, I mean, I think everybody kind of has to.
So what's wrong? Why do you want to waste money if it's cheap? Well and good. Why waste money? Why throw money away? You got to be prudent, man. It's perfect.
Right? And all I'm going to say is there was actually a time in my life, Aisha. Thank you for saying that. There was actually a time in my life, man, when living in a trailer park would have been a step up. So listen, I mean, it's not a judgment. It just is what it is. So. Again, as far as falling in love, I think that that's fleeting. I think that it changes, and I think that as long as we understand that, if we can keep that emotion in check without committing to something, because I think once we commit to something, that's when it ends up really kind of getting us into trouble and stuff like that. So it sets us up to fail.
So hey, let's look at the comments, man.
Perfect.
Love at first as best love. I like you, Tawab. Well done, man. Well done. Thank you, Mayor. Sensible man.
Nah.
Dennis is just being,
Hey, that's okay, man. Like, listen, I mean, there's a reason, like, when you see somebody across the room and you lock eyes, and how do you feel? Your heart starts to get the flutter, you get a little sweaty, right? You get a little tingly. That's called chemicals. It's actually called adrenaline and cortisol. It's a form of stress. So there it is.
Oh, man, look at this magical comment. Look at this magical comment. When a person you fall in love at first sight is the person you love after getting to know them. Wow, man, can you imagine the lottery? That's like winning a 1 in a million lottery, man.
Hey, when I see the word GOAT put in all caps like that, I think he's referring to me as the greatest of all times.
Hey, I endorse that. You're cool, man. Other than your philosophy on love, you are right.
Too old. Perfect. Okay, the quick level of precise actually just less in connection. Honestly, if both agree, and there's nothing quick get done with it. However, if love is taken. I'm not. The true love is me. Yeah, as you sexually. Yeah, true love is like when you do care about them to the core. Aisha, the only thing I'm curious about is whether or not you're talking it's a lust connection and there's nothing quick. Are you just talking like bang it out and move on, or not even engage at all? I'm asking a question and I'm not trying to be silly about it. So that's an interesting comment. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I am, yes. And guess what? My mate here is turning 50 now.
I'll be 50 next May. That's right. Better with age, man. Better with age. Here's a good one.
I look at my old pictures, man. I don't want to go back there. This is fantastic. It just gets better. Alhamdulillah, God is kind. It just keeps getting better every day, man. It just gets better. Thank you, God. Thank you.
Absolutely. Question for you then.
Please show the mortals some ability to learn to appreciate.
So to answer this question, and I don't want to try to pronounce the name because I don't want to butcher that, but
Tawab.
I'm sorry, Tawab.
Tawab, yeah.
So Tawab, my answer to that is I do believe that is a very acceptable way for people to fall in love, and I do think and what if I don't find them attractive. I think that getting to know somebody makes them more attractive or less attractive depending upon how they are. So as far as like physical attraction, there's been times, there's been times when I'm sure April didn't find me physically attractive. I mean, I was almost, I was up over 100 kilograms. I was a big fat ass. So, physical bodies change. Appearance changes, and so forth. What I can tell you is that, I think I look back at when in my mind, even though I look at April now, I still see her as that, when we met, when we were all the way back as kids. And like, as far as April goes, what a lot of people don't realize, yes, we've been married for 30 years, but we met in second grade. So we've known each other our entire lives. So yes to that question, because I think attractiveness comes from knowing somebody better and better, more and more. So thank you.
Okay, I'm going to add to, you said physical attraction.
Yeah.
You can be completely, sorry, you said sexual attraction. You can be sexually attracted to somebody completely but ugly. It doesn't really matter. And as far as I'm concerned, looks are completely so unimportant in my world. They mean nothing. I've been with some gorgeous people, and I've been with some very, very average looking people. And love had no correlation to either. I mean, and I've always said, if looks were enough, Nicole Kidman would never get divorced. Tom Cruise would never get divorced. So looks alone mean nothing. Not even for the first sight. Even for the first, if I'm planning to, jump someone, I would care what they look like. But if I am planning to spend time with them, even just to have dinner with somebody, looks mean nothing to me, man. It's the companionship, the company, how you can enjoy the evening. That's what matters. Looks mean nothing at all. Looks come in only, I know, man, looks mean nothing. At least in my world, they mean nothing. At least to me, they mean nothing. And I'm really speaking from a personal perspective tonight.
Yeah.
Not because this topic goes beyond cultures and
Oh,
societies.
it does.
It's completely personal.
And what I'm going to talk about as far as appearance and attractiveness and stuff is just simply that the most, in my mind, the most attractive quality a woman can have is the way she makes me feel about me.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And so that's what, that supersedes. I mean, that supersedes anything else. Is how does this person make me feel about me? And then I try to make April feel the same way about her, about herself as she makes me feel about me. So I think that's really where the attraction comes from.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what creates sustainable relationships, provided that we have communication and everything else. And that's not really what we're talking about.
I want to see this, man. Why would you even bother to get to know someone if you don't like or love at first sight? Love at first sight, yes. Yeah, okay, fair. I thought you meant if you don't like the way they look, but yeah, I fully agree with you, man. If you don't like or love someone at first sight, why would you bother to know them? Yeah, absolutely agree. Dennis?
Because I think that I don't know, man. To me, that's
Here's a man right after my heart, man.
That's just kind of like buying into the throwaway society. You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to be attracted to everybody. I just think that if we're discounting our ability to fall in love with somebody that we get to know, because we want that spark, we want that feeling. Again, it's that feeling. We keep going back to this, is what it is a feeling. Feelings are created by chemicals, period, end of story. So if I can feel this way over here, I can feel this way over there. So I don't know. But thank you, Tawab. I really appreciate that.
Okay, God, perfect comment. Faisal. First of all, Faisal, why haven't you come back to the show? Second of all, what a bullshit. You are such a fraud.
Because she has no love for you.
No, because we have been in love. Faisal and I have been in love for what, 20, Faisal, come on, tell me, about 25 years? And we have, guess what, Dennis? We have met only twice in our whole life. Mm-hmm. Okay? The only extended encounter Faisal and I had was when I was in South Africa, some bloody 18, 19 years ago, and, with family, and we hung out for a week. That's the only time she and I have ever met, and we are absolute love. Absolute love. We say I love you to each other, but we've never met. Really, never really met. And she's saying love is a choice, lust at first sight. Get out of here, you liar.
Faisal, I think this is why you and I get along so well, and I appreciate you for.
No, Faisal and I fell in love on the bloody internet, and.
Well, it sounds like she's maybe falling out of love with your dumb ass.
Oh no, she's not. She can never. She will die before she falls out of love with me, man. I mean, if I find out she's falling out, I'm going to hunt her and kill her. I mean, Simple as that, man.
I was imprint my brain for when I first saw it. Okay, here's one of the things our good friend Kushbu. Your best friend can turn into an enemy. Your lover can fall into love with someone else, but 1 million will remain 1 million. So make money. Kushbu, thank you so much, friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That's great. And I agree. Your best friend can turn into your enemy. A lover can no longer be your lover. And that's just it. Things change. So, love is something that is, love grows where it's nurtured. And that's, I don't know any other way to put that. Yes, my good friend, my good friend Mavish, yes. Yes, she knows exactly what we're talking about.
Both of you, man.
Hey, but she'll also...
You find what you seek, man. You both of you, you're just sick people.
Mavish,
man.
I think you'll understand the statement. I was never looking for a queen to my double wide.
You find someone who's opposite of you. I found them repeatedly. And you know what? I've even tried to love them. Love has nothing to do with people who are like you, opposite you. Love is controlled by something completely different. Love is a beautiful emotion. Love is fire. You guys are calculators, man. You guys won't understand.
I believe in this as well. You can start loving someone at any time. That's correct. Yeah, thank you. I wish I could read the writing there. But as far as Omer declaring my love, I've always I will shout it from the rooftops. I am just 100% I get gaga when I am around my wife. I absolutely love her, and that wasn't always the case. It is simply because we've chosen to work on our relationship. The love just grows and grows. She's not even home.
Of her.
She's not even home.
This is online, my friend. This ain't going nowhere. Okay,
and she'll agree with everything I'm saying because she's heard it too.
Because
she's heard it too.
Because she told you what to say.
Because she's afraid I won't love her. Right.
Okay. Faiza has come back. Okay. Faiza has come back with a response. I've just come on, and this is a great subject. I can speak to a soul connection. That's me. That spans almost 30 years. There was never been a physical interaction. We speak rarely, yet we know without doubt the other is there if ever needed. This for me is a love that surmounts everything. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you too. That's us, man.
Faisa, I love you, Faisa, but that you just sounded like you love Faisal because he can do shit for you. I mean, come on.
This is becoming a love triangle here, man. So let's go back up. What was next? We got great comments.
So here's one. Single at the moment or somebody. To this person, I just celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary. I'm with somebody.
Congratulations, man, and may God bless you guys forever, man.
Thank you. Yes, how do we sustain the ups and downs? Listen, a couple times it involved lawyers. A couple times, it involved me moving out. I mean, it wasn't always like a bed of roses. It's still not a bed of roses. I mean, we teach communication for couples, and then we just looked at each other a couple weeks ago, and we're like, how can we be fighting with each other? We teach this stuff, and yet here we are fighting like idiots. So listen, I mean, we're human. We put each other, we respect each other as humans first. We provide grace, empathy, and patience towards each other and ourselves. And it's not even about making a commitment. It is simply about saying, you know what? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I am 100% committed, but there's a very realistic side to this as well. People are watching me and getting to know me. It's not like I've not been on a date in years. April was the majority of the person that I dated. If something happened to her and I was left single again, I'd be screwed because I'm not that nice of a guy. I'd have most people aren't going to dig my beard or anything else or all my tattoos or, so there's always something. I don't want to have to take and put the effort into impressing somebody and falling in love and developing love again. So for me, the return on investment is continuing to nurture the love and the relationship that I have, because working with enough people, what that has really shown me, Nobody else's relationship is any better or worse than mine. They're all the same. We just choose we just choose what we can tolerate. So thank you. That's a great question.
I'm going to add to what you just said, Dennis. Love does not make a relationship. It's completely love is love, but a relationship depends on a lot of other things. And if you want to know what they are, you got to watch the series of shows we've been doing for the past, however long. We've been talking about it repeatedly.
My friend Lori.
Thank you, Lori.
Lori.
Thank you, Lori. I love you, Lori. You're the
Why
girl.
doesn't anybody say that to her about me? Why? That is very hurtful to my feelings, Lori.
Dude, Lori knows her firsthand, and I know enough about April to know she's the one with the short end of the stick here, man. She's the one suffering here.
And Lori has
Thank you, Lori. Thank you very much, Lori.
Known me. Lori and I have known each other, I want to say, since 1984. So it's been a long time. It's similar to you and Faisa.
And she knows you more than anybody else. She's speaking the truth.
She does.
Just a second, man. Hang on. Hey, Rafia, you and I need to hook up for a day or two, man. I like you. I love you.
Falling in love.
I love you, Rafia. DM me, yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Rafia, do not do that.
Okay, this is a long one, man. Hey, serious comedy we'll look at.
Yeah.
I know someone who keeps falling in love very quickly. I feel that person experiences a lot of trauma. That's me. And where she finds love or emotion support, she falls for it, yeah. Then gives 100% into it and only gets used, abused. That's my story. As a result, she has turned so negative to no, that's not my story. Towards people who are generally concerned about her and give her any good advice. She takes things slowly. It's more of a psychological issue, I guess. Well, I don't know, man. Dennis is the best person to answer, but that's half of it is my story. But I have no bitterness. Just because I've been screwed does not mean people are bad. I've had bad people. That's all right, man. Shit happens.
Yeah,
Dennis.
and Zoya, I think that I understand what you're saying, and I think when we start kind of breaking things down and we get a little bit deeper into this topic, now what we're talking about is things like the laws of attraction, right? Is that we end up attracting what we're putting out there, and so in many ways, I think the easiest thing to do it's one of the easiest suggestions, most difficult things to do is to ask if you find yourself in a situation like that, you simply say, man, I'm always getting hurt. I'm always in this situation. How is this serving me? Because in some way, those types of behaviors end up serving us in some way. Even if we end up getting hurt in the process, it's because it's either that it's serving us in that the pattern is what we're comfortable with. There's any number of things. So, I mean, I've said this all this week. You cannot love. True love starts with self-love. And if we don't love ourselves, we don't respect ourselves, there's no way that we can expect anybody else to treat us with more respect than we do ourselves.
And for that, you need to watch yesterday's show. So please go back and you can watch it. Aisha says, Faisal Qureshi, looks do mean a lot. You're contradicting. No, I'm not contradicting. If I want to hook up with you, I will care what you look like.
Sure.
But if I want to fall in love with you, I don't care what you look like. And you know what? Rewind my life, and you will have. I'm not just saying that. I'm not just bullshitting. I've actually been in relationships with all kinds of looking people. So you know what? I've proven that statement. But if I want to hook up with you, yes, of course, I really care what you look like.
Okay, and
but if it's something more than that, then it doesn't matter, man.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that as well. And for me, to me, it just comes down to the whole thing of at some point when you're in a relationship, especially a long term, when you really have to take and look at the return on investment of your time, your energy, your emotional, your emotional involvement and commitment. So I just want to take this one really quickly. Lori, I totally agree, love, is that authentic ourselves before we can truly attract the person that you can honestly share your life with. Amen. Thank you so much. That's absolutely brilliant.
And Laurie, we missed you. I mean, you watch the shows from yesterday and did exactly what we talked about. Honesty is so crucial.
Lori's a nurse, and she's busy on the front lines battling this pandemic and all this COVID nonsense. So, Lori, I love you. Okay, I see the winky emoji after it, because otherwise, you and me were about to have some verbal blows. So, but yeah, whatever. I've lived in the South, so I'll wear that. Lori, thank you so much. Just to finish up, I love you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah. Yes, I'm not disputing that. I'm just going to come out and say that's not something I believe in this stuff, but I always default to like science. So I try to understand that stuff as much as I possible. I think in many ways in my life I'm a little bit too academic, and then I end up learning too much about something and ruining it.
Dennis,
like love.
You've got it made, man. Dennis, can you make sure the next 2 minutes April doesn't see? Check this out, man.
You're giving me enough, sir. Thank you.
Know what I mean, man?
Thank you, Aisha. Yeah, and I'll tell you this. This is
Hey,
the
I have
funniest
one.
one.
I have a tiny tattoo. Does that count? I'm not like Dennis. I'm not 80% covered in beautiful art, but I've got one.
The best one.
Aisha, hey, DM her. Aisha, DM.
Aisha, the funniest part of this whole thing, and I'll finish with this story because we're kind of getting close to time. I'll finish with my time, but it's so one time April's she leans way more conservatively than I do, one time I went and got tattooed. She did not know that I was going to, and when I came home, I had gotten my backside tattooed. And so I never said anything anything else. And then she's home. I'm getting out of the shower, and I'm getting out of the shower, and she sees it. And I had so for those that just put it to your imagination, because I'm not showing you, is on my right butt cheek, I have the Pillsbury Doughboy tattooed there. Yay me, right? That's a great decision. So I get out, and there was a kind of an inside joke between April and I at the time, and so I get out of the shower, I start drying off, and she looks at me, and she looks at me, and I'm like, "What's going on?" She goes, "You're just a jackass." And April is the type of person that will not say the word shit if she has a mouth full of it. So that was that was a big deal. That was a big deal. So anyway, thank you, Aisha. I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody, for
2 comments, man.
Yeah,
I'm going to show the comments, but we will not address them. The first comment is, how can you define compatibility in chemistry and relationship? Maybe we can take that on next week, so you'll have to come back and watch that. Tawab says, Dennis, how do you differentiate between love and getting used to someone getting together with for years? We tend to like someone that we can get along with. So you know what, Tawab, you need to go and watch the 3 shows we did earlier this week. We addressed, in fact, I opened, I think yesterday or day before yesterday's show with exactly the same line. It's a quote from Khalil Gibran. I started with that, so you're going to have to go back and watch that. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. It was lovely, great. Good night.
Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you Monday. Stay blessed.